Hello guys, today we are going to be reviewing the Pall Mall Special Select Red 100s. These are brand new cigarettes, they just came out. And just to let you know, I've already tried one out of the pack. So I'm going to give my pretty much review on the second time charm. The first time I tried it, it was an okay cigarette, but we're going to be trying it again, so take it out. And we're going to be reviewing and rating pretty much the flavor, the taste, and the smell. So pretty much the smell, it's got a nice tobacco smell to it. It's very Pall Mall flavor. You know, if you ever smoked a Pall Mall Red 100, you know exactly what that smell is. Now you take it out, and it's got your typical cork filter. And it says Pall Mall right there in black writing. And it's just a simple 100 cigarette and 100 millimeters. So we're going to give it a smell. And the filter, it's very dry. But the first time I tried it and the first time I smoked it, I liked the flavor coming from the filter. It wasn't too airy, it wasn't too dry. But when I was inhaling and you got that first draw, it definitely had a sort of pullback to it. So like the first draw was a little different, but the second or third draw turned out to be pretty good. But we're going to light up and we're going to see how it tastes and how it feels. So let's begin lighting. Okay, that first draw, that first pullback, you can definitely taste the filter and the tobacco mixed together, but it's not a bad flavor. I'll begin with that. The flavor tastes like a normal Pall Mall, just a little lighter. Like I said, if you ever smoked a Pall Mall, you know how they taste and you know how they smell. They always got that strong flavor. This is a little lighter. It's not too bad. It's kind of mellow in a way. And, well, for the filter, like I said, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Obviously, you got your Marlboros and your American Spirits and stuff like that. Those filters I do not like. But this, it's got a really nice filter. And you actually get a lot of smoke coming through, too. You don't have that airy feeling. When you try to, like, suck in, you get that deep breath. But for this, I'd say the flavor is very good, in my opinion. I'd give it a 7 out of 10 for flavor. Now, how's that smell? Sometimes you smell a cigarette and it's got that smell to it. And it's got a nice smell to it when it's burning. It doesn't smell too airy. It doesn't smell too starchy. You know, some cigarettes get that starch flavor and that smell to it that just stink. Like, in my opinion, Camel and Newport and stuff like that. I don't like Newports one bit. You know, you won't catch me smoking Newports. It's got a pretty nice flavor to it, and that drawback is really good. When you want a quality cigarette, you want that drawback too. You want to be able to get a nice inhale in. You know, them stereotypical movies where you see the people smoking, they're like, you know, they get that nice inhale going in, and they got that nice exhale, you know. But I'd give this cigarette a 7 out of 10 when it comes to flavor and smell. But if I was really desperate for nicotine, I would give this cigarette an 8 out of 10. I'm not going to be mean and say it's nasty. It's definitely good. Now, we're going to be reviewing the package next. And right off the blue, this is what attracted me, was the blue. I really like the blue package. I mean, it's definitely unique looking compared to, like, say, Marlboro Black or, you know, well, I can't think of the other brand, but, you know, it has the original Pall Mall up here. It's got the Pall Mall and the Pall Mall logo. And right here, it's got the Pall Mall logo. It's got your Special Select 100s on here. You know. It's got, Please Don't Litter, R.J. Reynolds, Tobacco Factory, Made in Mexico. Your PLU code, which is standard in the United States. And, it's got your typical American warning label, you know, smoking causes lung cancer, heart disease, emphysema, and may complicate pregnancy. The works, pretty much. But I'd give the package a 10 out of 10 on looks department. I really like how this looks. Like, I could see myself whipping this out at like a bar or like a social gathering and just be like, hey, I got the cigarette, don't worry. And you're like, whoa, what the hell is that? It's a Pall Mall Red 100. Special Select Red. I mean, this thing, it attracted me right away. You know, sort of like a pack of Newport menthols will attract me. I don't like Newports, but I like the design of the package. You know, Marlboro Reds, I love the design. Camels, they're not my favorite, but I love the camel logo and all that stuff. And personally, when you opened it up, I didn't have any problem pulling out the paper filter. I know that nowadays, most cigarettes, they have paper packages inside. They don't have the foil. I had no problem pulling the paper packages out. They didn't have any leftover paper except for right here. You know, when I pulled it out so I can get my lucky cigarette in there, it actually pulled out pretty nicely. I mean, it actually pulled out pretty decently. So, if I was to rate it on looks, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. For flavor, I'd give it a 7. For drawback, meaning that nice, I would give that a 6 out of 10. Like I said, the filter is a little papery. It kind of tastes like paper a little bit. It doesn't have that micro glass filter that Marlboro has. But in my opinion, it's not the best cigarette I've ever had. But it's a cigarette that I would recommend to a friend. Meaning if he was like, oh man, I only have $10 and I really need a cheap pack of cigarettes. Well, have you tried these? They're $10.93. Oh, I can get behind that. I'd smoke them. Now, depending on the state you live in, they do vary in prices. I live in Minnesota, so these are $10.93 up here. But, you know, depending on what state you live in and what your taxes are and all that stuff, you might have different prices. But for Minnesota, it's $10.93 for these, so pretty cheap compared to the average Marlboro or Camel. And for price-wise, I definitely give it a 10 out of 10. These are cheap cigarettes. You know what you're getting your hands on. I mean, if you smoke cheap cigarettes, Lucky Strike, Montego, Liggett, you know, LDs, stuff like that, I would definitely say this is a cigarette I recommend. So, if I was to recommend a cigarette, it would be the Pall Mall Special Red Selects. Now, I have tried the menthol, actually. I tried the menthol shorts, and honestly, I don't mind the menthol shorts. They're not bad. I'm not a big menthol fan, but I did like the Pall Mall menthol Special Select shorts, which maybe someday I'll do a review on them. You know, maybe I'll review the package and all that stuff. Oh, drop my dart. But this has been my review for the Pall Mall Special Select Red. I mean, look at that package. Who cannot love that? You know, that is beautiful right there. I mean, wow. But this has been my review for Pall Mall Special Select Red. And feel free to check out my other videos. I will be uploading a couple more videos once in a while. They're not going to be every day, but I'll upload when I can. But if you like this review, feel free to subscribe and watch the other videos on my channel. Enjoy.